What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of QuattroQuattroDos. An episode where I am actually kind of sleepy, so we're gonna try to keep it hopefully under 30 minutes. But I always say the same thing, and then I just go off for 45 and more. So we'll see what we can do. But yeah, welcome back. Like I said, once again, QuattroQuattroDos, Cristian. Thank you for coming back to another episode. This episode, we're going to be talking a little bit about Columbus Crew, and then obviously the Houston Dynamo. And then we are just I have 3 reasons why you should watch the Galaxy, the Houston Dynamo versus LAFC upcoming Wednesday. You're probably listening to this on a Tuesday. I swear I will never do that again. But yeah, Wednesday night we're playing in LA, so it's gonna be a big match. But before we get to that, let's go ahead and get into the Columbus Crew real quick. Let's just go straight to the point, straight to what we came for, right? So it was actually a really good match. Once again, I was fortunate enough to be at the stadium. Beautiful night. It was kind of chilly, for us. Chilly if you're listening outside of Houston, chilly for us is like a good 72 degrees, 73. But like a great kind of warm guy that I am. I had my little jacket and all that, so it was pretty good. But it was like a good, beautiful playing soccer playing weather, because when you start sweating, and you kind of get warm, so it is not as cold. But it was beautiful weather to play soccer, and a beautiful night as well. Like whatever. I'm not a meteorologist, so I'm not gonna talk about the weather. But the lineup was kind of we were expecting most of the names there. There was a few names that we were not, maybe we were expecting, but we weren't sure if that was going to happen. For example, actually one thing that threw everybody off to start off not even the week, because the news actually came in the day before the game against Columbus on Saturday. It came in on Friday that Adam Lundsvisk, I will never learn his name, Adam Lundy, unfortunately got a 2-game suspension plus a fine because the homies at the VAR decided to have a meeting and decided that Adam had a dangerous play against Minnesota, which he did. We're not, condoning or whatever. What he did was right. He even, if you watch the play again, he kind of even felt bad for the guy. I think he actually thought he injured the guy. Because he was very worried. But the referee obviously didn't I think he didn't even give him a yellow card, to be honest. But even then, it's just kind of weird that days later, dudes get together and have meetings over dangerous plays. And I mean, I completely understand. You're trying to get rid of all of this nasty soccer, in quotes, but at the end of the day, it's gone. It's just kind of taking a little bit away of what the sport is really not really about. But usually stuff like that happens and is in the moment. If a part of the game of soccer is being smart enough, or being pícaro enough, like we say in Spanish, being smart is not the word, but sneaky enough. There you go. I guess you can use sneaky enough to sneak around the referee. If you're in a corner kick, trying to grab a shirt, or hit somebody with a jab to the body real quick. Little things that maybe they're not legal per se, but in the game of soccer, you have to take advantage of any like possible thing. And just little things like that, maybe they're not the best ways, and maybe they're not really like fair play and all that stuff. But if you play soccer before, we all know that those things happen. And the game is like, I hit you, you hit me, and as long as it stays in the field, we're all good to go. And I don't think, as long as it's not done like in a harmful way, and I'm not gonna go out there and break a guy on purpose, like I'm not gonna go break his leg on purpose. But if I can hurt him a little bit, I'll just go hurt him a little bit, but nothing too major. And something to give me an advantage at the moment, not like ruin the guy's career. So I just think it's kind of stupid that VAR, in a way, freaking 3 days later, and then 1 day before a match where you don't know how the team has been preparing, and you literally throw off like a part of their team or their starting 11, because Adam is part of the starting 11 for the Houston Dynamo. And I mean, he has been since the beginning of the year, and since last year he was back up to Beasley, but since Beasley retired, he has been almost the undisputed man on the left side. So, given that circumstances, Sam Junko had to step up and start. I believe this is his actually second start of the year, which is very good news for him, because he's getting numbers, he's getting minutes, and he's getting used to this whole playing as a professional, and it's it's a whole different thing to the college experience, I guess. I never played college and I never played professional, but I would assume that they're different things, right? Just because of obviously the style of play, the people you play against, and so on, right? And actually, Tab Ramos after the game in the press conference, somebody asked him about Sam Junko, how he saw Sam Junko, who actually had a really, really decent game. He's really good in the air. I think everybody kind of is getting into that Sam Junko, there's a corner, there's a free kick, you want Sam Junko in the box, because 2 times out of 3 he's fighting for the ball, and sometimes he's hitting it, and he has no fear. He'll go to every ball. So shout out to Sam Junko for being a fighter in the box when it comes to the air balls. But yeah, Tab Ramos was talking about how Sam Junko, he's been working a lot with Sam Junko because he's a young guy, and also because there's a possibility of him moving up in the team, getting more minutes, especially in a team that you can possibly play the MLS Cup, you can play the Open Cup, and who knows, maybe in the future you get to play Champions League, Conca Champions. That's a funny name. Stuff like that, and you need a good rotation of players. But shout out to Sam Junko. He's actually been doing a great, heck of a job. And to be honest, I'm gonna be honest, I didn't have a lot of trust in him, and it was probably because last year, obviously the little bit that we saw, and understandable, he was still a young kid. It wasn't convincing enough, I guess. But this year he has completely changed my mind on that, and actually Sam Junko, I am okay with Sam Junko starting this game. The next game, I think most likely he will, because Adam is going to serve his second game of suspension, and then he's obviously going to be fighting with Adam. I think Adam still has a little edge on him, just because of experience, but I think eventually Sam Junko will be able to find a spot either here in Houston, or if ever he gets traded or whatever happens. So hopefully he stays, because he's a really valuable piece. But he has a future. Then another thing that we saw was the start of Cabrera, which is also his second start in a row. Kiki has been riding the bench for 2 games. A tweet that I actually sent out before the game started was how before the starters come into the field, the guys in the bench come out first, and they go straight to the bench. And my tweet was like, it's kind of weird seeing one of your highest paid players, if not the highest paid player in your team, who is Kiki Struna, and your DP designated player, number 10 wearing attacker, both riding the bench. And it's just kind of weird because in a team, usually your number 10 is your best player, old school. Nowadays, it's not the same thing, but, old school, traditional soccer, number 10 goes to your best player. And, I mean, we have him as a DP, as a designated player, which means that he has a little bit more prestige to his name. And then also Cristian has one of the biggest contracts in the Houston Dynamo history. And he's getting paid a really good pretty penny for his job, or for what he's supposed to be doing. But now we have Cabrera, who has come from a different team. I think he came from Montreal, and he's actually playing a great, defensively he's playing really well. Federico from Dynamo asked Tab Ramos about Cabrera and how he's looking, how he sees Cabrera, and Cabrera has brought a new not a new style of play, but it actually gives you a different style of the way that we play soccer in the field. So Tab Ramos, one of the things that he has implemented in this team was the playing from the back, and Cabrera has a little bit of more control and a little bit more of better ball handling than Cristian when it comes from coming from the bottom, and also he is a little bit more tougher when it comes to balls that are divided, so balls that you have to fight. Air balls, that's something that Tab Ramos was actually talking about, that we are the worst team when it comes to aerial balls, when it comes to aerial fights. And funny enough, on this one, I was watching that in this game, we won 18 aerial balls, and they won 13. So obviously we outbeat them in the air. We were outbeating them in the air. So it's a pretty good thing, because it's something that Tab is actually working on, because he said, I didn't know the stat, but obviously he's the coach. So we were the worst team when it comes to aerial balls, and now we are beating teams like Columbus. So that's also a good thing. And also Cabrera kind of brings a little bit more stability when it comes to with him and Figueroa. These last two games against Minnesota and against Columbus, the Houston Dynamo has been the better team for sure. Even though there's people on Twitter that disagree with me, which I find completely ridiculous. Shout out to that one guy that thinks that we are a horrendous team and that Tab Ramos doesn't know anything about soccer. I don't know what the hell he's watching. But I think most of us will agree that this is probably the best soccer we have seen the Dynamo play in a few years, in 4 or 5 years, to be honest. So, I mean, I don't know how long this person has been following the team and whatever, but I think he's tripping. So, homeboy, you are tripping. But yeah, also just to a little stat, goalkeeper saves, we only had 2 saves, they had 5. So obviously you see that Marco Marriage has been having a chill job lately. Against Minnesota, obviously he had a couple of shots, and then in this game he had a couple of shots too, but we had 24 shots on goal, they had 8 shots on goal, or shots, and not necessarily on goal, but just shots, period. Which is kind of show the strength that we are becoming, or something that we are kind of changing in the defense. Something also that's interesting is that out of the last 9 games, 8 of them we were scored first. We were scored against first. This was the first game in 9 games that we are the team to score first, which is something that Tab Ramos has actually been talking about for the past 2 to 3 games. That is something that he wants to change, is that the team kind of seemed too laid back. Yeah, we played well, but we will start playing with more intensity after we got scored on, which is ridiculous, because you're at that point you're fighting an uphill battle basically, because you're down goals. First you got to tie the game and then win. So it kind of it makes your job harder. So why not go out and score first? Which is something that we did in this game. And then another position that kind of changed a little bit was we were, after Ellis left, Lassiter kind of became the person in that side. But for this game, Nico Hansen beat out Lassiter. And I think Nico Hansen did a heck of a job. I think he has been proving himself more and more as the games go by. He actually seems a little bit more dangerous than Lassiter. I don't know what it is about Lassiter that it just seems like he's always like lacking a little something. I don't know if maybe it's like the position that he's playing, that he'll rather like play on the left side than the right side. But since we have Quinteros, and Quinteros kind of basically does what he wants in a way. So he'll choose when to like rotate from one side to the other. And, it's just kind of one of those things that, he is our best player. So he kind of gets to do what, he wants. So Lassiter, I don't know, I might be talking out of my ass here, but personally, it seems like he feels more comfortable on the left side than the right side. But, unfortunately, he has to play on the right. But then Nico Hansen, he seems more comfortable on the right side. So, that's that, So Nico Hansen beat Lassiter on that. And then, of course, you have Manotas, Quinteros, Vera, Seren, Memo, Minor, and Sarek Valentin. And, of course, Marco Maric. Those were 11 starters. And so possession-wise, it was pretty even, 48 for us, 52 for them. But because they're also pretty big in the possession game, so it was a pretty even game. I think both teams, when it came to ball control, ball handling, it was pretty even. But the Dynamo were a lot more dangerous with the ball. Even though one of the notes that I have is that whenever Columbus would attack, which is something that Tab Ramos actually mentioned in the press conference before the game, is that when Columbus attacks, they attack with a lot of numbers. And it is true because we know I try to keep an eye for those things nowadays. As I get older, I try to look at tactics and stuff like that. It's just very interesting, learning about the game of soccer in a tactical way, not just, for fun. And they were attacking with 4 guys. Whenever they, usually, for example, when we have the ball, there's only one person ahead of the ball, which is Manotas. Manotas is the only person that is in front of the ball, that is between the ball and the goal. And it's something that also Federico was talking to Tab Ramos about, and that I think most people are kind of pointing out and seeing, is that Manotas is not playing like a designated box number 9, how he's used to playing and how we think he should play. He's playing more of my back to the goal, and give me the ball, I'll hold it for a second, give it back to you, so you can just kind of with the momentum of you making that run, you just kind of take it and go, basically. Just as a little wall. He's working more as a wall than actually more of a shot taker or more of a goal creator, more of a dangerous number 9 air guy, type thing. But, I think now with Quinteros, being in the position that he is, Mauro Manotas is kind of like the perfect pivot when it comes to that, right? But then when you look at Columbus, every time that they had the ball and they were attacking, they had 4 guys in front of the ball. They had number 29, number 7, number 20, number 22, which is basically all their forwards and strikers, basically. And they were all pretty 22 would go really, really spread out to the right. Number 20, Boateng, super fast. Shout out to Sarek Valentin. I was kind of afraid to see how Sarek Valentin was going to deal with him just because he was really fast, but he shut that dude down. So shout out to Sarek Valentin. And then Pedro Santos, who was the one that had the most dangerous plays in the first half towards the end, just because of a couple of errors that were from our part, from Figueroa, and then their forward Nemeth, who also, so those that him and Pedro Santos would basically live with the center backs, kind of. So it was very interesting because obviously with 4 players in front of the ball, obviously that's almost with 1 player holding the ball and 4 players in front, that's literally almost half of your team that attacks, and that's what Tab Ramos was actually trying to hone on. I don't know what that word when you put your eye on it. Hone on. I don't know what it. I don't know. ESL student here, so I don't know. But you know what I'm trying to say, right? Honan. I don't know, whatever. So that's something that he was actually looking to like exploit. Dang, look at me. Exploit in a way because he knew that Columbus would attack with a lot of numbers, and he knew that with that came that if you get the ball, like, you know, you get the ball back real quick, you win it back, you catch them off guard because they already have 5 guys in front of the ball. Or in this case, it would be behind the ball. Therefore, you know, obviously you have half a team to beat, not 11, which what a lot of teams have been doing. You know, they kind of like for example, Minnesota, they would just shut down and go back. Nashville, they would shut down and go back. And they will all live in their own half. And it was just, you know, obviously, numbers-wise, it's more difficult to attack 11 guys than 6 guys, you know. Five defenders or 5, you know, defenders in this case, and then the goalie. And that's something that obviously the Dynamo kind of like exploited. And I mean, 24 shots came from there. But unfortunately, as everybody knows, we have been lacking on that last third of the game. And that's why we ended up the game 1-1. And, you know, it's just, it is what it is. I think our forwards are going through a rough patch, and it's just every day keeps getting worse because unfortunately, like, their position is not like having a number 9 not play as a box number 9 kind of takes away from the goal scoring opportunities that they have, because at this point in time they're so far away from the goal that, you know, it doesn't give them a bigger percentage or a bigger chance to score, which is something that, you know, it's you kind of have to balance out if you're Tab Ramos, because, you know, you need your forwards to score, you need your goal scorers to like put the ball in the back of the net. But then also you need somebody to help you pivot and help you hold the ball a little bit for Quinteros to bring it and give it to you and get it back from you. You know, given that he is our creator basically in the soccer field. He's the one that is creating all the plays, most of the plays and stuff like that. But that's my perception of the game. I think my perception is kind of like the main perception of everybody. So I might be wrong. I doubt it. I actually don't think I'm wrong at all, but maybe somebody else sees something a little bit slightly different. But I mean, other than that, I think, you know, I think we're just beating a dead horse at the moment, saying that, you know, we have tied like a whole bunch of games. We have lost a few that probably should have been ties. We have lost points. We have left points on the table by getting either late ties or not being able to put the ball away in certain games. And, you know, we create chances. We just can't put them away. And, I mean, unfortunately in this sport, the only way you win is scoring goals. I mean, the team that wins is the one that puts the ball in the back of the net more times. So it's not about creation. It's not about, you know, wanting to win. It's not about, like, you know, merit. You know, it's not like, oh, you played a better game, you win. Nah, it's about getting there. It's about putting the ball there. It's not about like effort. And if it was for effort and if it was about play, I think we would have that's Luis Suarez, but we would have beaten. I don't know. We would have whooped. There you go. I'll use that word. Probably not whooped, but we would have won a bunch of our games. But unfortunately, there we go. So the other thing, so 3 reasons of why, you know, in the last 5 minutes that we have here, 3 reasons why you should watch the game tomorrow against LAFC, Houston Dynamo, LAFC. 3 reasons. Reason number 1, the Dynamo is playing beautiful soccer. If you are one of those, with all due respect, one of those idiots that think that this team is not playing well, with all due respect, you're an idiot, in my opinion. And you obviously are not, like, you're not watching what everybody else is watching. This team is playing beautiful soccer. This team is playing the best soccer in years. And we are going against another team that plays beautiful soccer and has great players. It has the reigning MVP of the league that actually decided to come back now right against us. It has players like Rossi, who is being called up to Uruguay's national team. And, it has national team caliber players. So, we're playing, it's one of our toughest matches. I thought Columbus Crew was going to be tough, to be honest. And obviously, and honestly, in my mind, it was a loss for us. Before going into the game, I thought we were going to lose. Just because of the name, not the name, but the way that they were playing and the year that they've been having compared to our year, that, it's not that we're playing bad, but we just don't have good luck, But I think against LAFC, we're going to have a little bit of luck, I think, or the winds are going to change. And I think we are going to play a great game against LAFC, and I think LAFC is beatable. I was watching them last night, and I know they played pretty well. But I think we could beat them. I think if we play the way that we've been playing and we go in there not being scared, if we go there and try to score first, if we go in there and we shut down Rossi, we shut down Bella, we shut down Bradley, we shut down freaking everybody that they have, I think we can do it. I think we've been playing well enough to beat LAFC. Reason number 2, we have to freaking win. We need 3 points. 1 point, 0 points, it's basically the end of our season. There's only 3 matches left for us. LAFC, FC Frisco, and Colorado. That we don't even know if Colorado is going to be playing because all of them have COVID. Not all of them, but they've been having problems. So it's a must win. It's a must win for the Houston Dynamo, because anything less than 3 points, it's game over, and we'll see you again, in March, basically. And then reason number 3, we must fucking win. We have to win. If we don't win, then we'll just go ahead and burn everything down to the ground. No, I'm just kidding. I think we are at a good point that rebuilding for next year has never looked more promising. I think we have a great coach. I think we have a great base of players. But I think we need a few more. I think we'll get there. When we get there, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I think we are with Tab Ramos as our head of the team. I think we are going. We look promising. So as I promised, 20 minutes, 27 minutes, 28 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it down. Keep it on the 30. If you're watching it, or if you're watching it on YouTube, handles on the bottom, of course, so you can hit the boy up. And then, man, I'm also excited about next year, personally, because as the Dynamo grow, my channel will grow. Actually, I'm not doing anything, but I'm planning on adding, trying to make it a little bit more professional. I don't know. Not professional, but a little bit better, I'll try to have some little segments going on, try to make it put a date on the week that the show will come on out, and, try to have it by then. Sometimes it's harder with, family and full-time job and all that stuff. This is a hobby. But I'm actually excited of doing QuattroQuattroDos for the people, and hopefully watching it grow and watching talking to other people and stuff like that. So if you're a fan of the show, continue to support. Thank you for your support so far. I really appreciate it. It makes me happy that people are listening. I'm happy that I get to talk about soccer and people get to listen and people get to agree or disagree, but we're contributing to the soccer culture here in Houston. So thank you everybody for listening. We'll see you guys next time. Y'all have a good one, and let's fucking go Dynamo.